What's up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here, and we are back in the world of Tekkit, and I wanted to show you guys what it looks like when Taint just gets absolutely out of fucking control. And you can see right here, all that purple stuff, this is Taint. And you can see it's spreading. When I first got in here, this was drastically smaller. You have to be very careful of the plants and foliage here, because it will kind of pop on you and poison you. But this will continue to expand until whatever source of taint, whatever is causing this taint, is rectified, or aura, some way to increase the aura value to bring taint down. And I will be building some items here soon, which will be able to show you guys the different levels of the taint and the levels of the aura, whether it's going up, whether it's going down, etc., etc. But I just wanted to show you guys what a nasty taint infection. That just sounds fucking terrible, but this is what it looks like. Oh, son of a bitch. What is that? You can see this is a chicken right here. Usually chickens don't attack you, but in the taint, it does turn passive animals. Like any animal that's in there that's spawned will become hostile. So like if this duck manages to wander in there, he's going to turn into a really unhappy duck. But I did want to show you guys that. That's why we're going to have to set up the venting system, where I'm basically going to be taking my taint and dumping it off on a site that is hopefully far away from my base. Is that a fish? Oh, he fell out of the water. Now he's flopping around. Poor little guy. Here, let me help you out. Let me help you out by crushing your head. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get back to working on our Viz stuff. I'm out here scavenging for... There it is! Red mushrooms. I wanted some red mushrooms so that I could grow some mushrooms. And eventually... Now I need to get a little bit of spot opened up for them. What do I not need? I can get rid of the zombie flesh. Mushrooms, I believe, can have... what do you call it? Bone meal used on them. And when you use bone meal on them, they turn into these big ass massive trees. Well, not trees, but mushrooms, obviously. And then from that, you can produce quite a bit. So I've got plenty of brown mushrooms, which are right here. And now I've got a couple red mushrooms. So we're going to go back to our little base. I'm going to see if I can't make a nice dark little area. And then we're going to try and grow some mushrooms as an easy, sustainable food source. So I don't have to keep running out here every time I forget to eat, and you guys can stop screaming at me. So we made it back home. I don't know if I'd shown you guys my little oil thing that we've found, but we've got a nice little oil well right here that I'm going to eventually be able to set up. You can see it goes pretty far down. And we're eventually going to... Oh god, that scared me for a second there. No! No! We're going to eventually use this as some form of fuel source. I've never played around with combustion engines or anything along those lines. There's a wisp. But we're going to set that up. But I wanted to test something real quick. I have never grown mushrooms. I've done a lot of stuff in Minecraft, but I've never grown mushrooms. I did pick up a few more of these on my way home. I now have 6 bone meal, so we're going to put bone meal down here. And the issue I've got is I've got 22 brown mushrooms and I've only got 9 red mushrooms. And for anybody who knows anything about mushrooms, to turn it into a food source, you got to have a decent... Yeah, they're not even going to plant here, are they? Might plant here, though. Yep, that's dark enough. Alright, and I'm curious what will happen when I do this. Nothing. Now, I don't know if that's because there's not enough room for one or what. So I'm going to try again once it gets fully dark. It's getting pretty dark pretty quick. We're going to see if we can't get one of these big monsters to plant. And I kind of like to have it like right here. Is it dark enough yet? Damn it. I mean, this is pretty much full-blown night. Because these things will only grow in certain light levels. And it has to be pretty damn dark. I mean, like right up here is perfect, but again, that's not going to really work for me because there's a ceiling. So I'm going to see if I can get these things figured out real quick. Alright folks, after doing just a bit of research, I figured out that, I believe, and we're going to test this out together, but for mushrooms to grow with, what do you call them? Bone meal, they have to be in a light level, obviously, that is conducive to them, which is, I believe, 5 or lower, and I don't know what 5 or lower is, but I'm pretty sure at nighttime, with this big ass hole that I'm building will be sufficient. And they also need roughly 7 by 7 area to grow, and I believe 5 high. And we are just finishing up the 7 by 7 by 5 little area here. And then we're going to grow this bitch, and hopefully she will cooperate. Now, I've got a brown one planted now, which I'm going to go ahead and get up. And it needs to be a dirt block, not a stone block. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the center there, I believe. Yep. Yep, that most definitely is. All right, busting that. Busting that. Scoop that bad boy. Where'd my dirt go? All right, we're going to plop that little bitch right there. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in height. Well, let's plant this bad girl. Pop that bitch down. Cross your fingers. And nothing. What the hell? Maybe it's not quite big enough. I mean, that is pretty freaking huge. So, honestly, I don't know how much bigger I gotta make this thing. I mean, in all honesty, it doesn't get much brighter than that, or darker than this. Unless I just completely seal this bitch in. Now, that's the other thing, is that the light level needs to be at least 5. Well, not, it doesn't have to be. They'll grow in complete darkness, apparently. But 5 is... There it goes! Boom! Holy fuck! Alright, so I guess I just didn't quite give her enough room. Here we go. There she is. So I got 1 room of clearance all the way around. But that worked. So, holy shit. Alright, so I don't believe you have to chop this down with anything special. I believe anything can chop this down. It does seem like these are busting it up in 1 instantaneous block. But I'm not getting any red mushrooms. Let's try and switch back to my fists. Huh. See, if I was playing in a... There we go, there's 1. So now we've made our money back, so to speak. There's a couple. Alright, good, 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 good. So I'm not going to be using an axe anymore. I don't think an axe actually has anything to do with it. But it's always... It's one of those things in Minecraft where you've got that, like, superstitious thing, you know, like when you're digging for diamonds and, you know, you'll only click with your right mouse finger instead of your left finger. You'll actually bring it all the way over because you know if you're gritting with that, then that works, but the other one doesn't. All right, so we've got 18 and 22. So planting that little fucker right there cost me 1, and I started with 9. Oh, come on. Ow! No! Holy shit, that little thing almost killed me. Wow, that's odd. It kind of left me a nice little area out. Now, it's almost flat up on top. So if I wanted to, I could actually build on this thing if I really, really wanted to. But that time, I made quite a few for my investment. So it's a pretty solid setup. Now I'm going to have to test my superstitious theory since I've got more than enough now to regrow. We're going to go ahead and test our little superstitious theory. We've got 22. And I'm going to see, yep, they still drop even with an axe. And an axe chops them down a hell of a lot faster. That is very nice. Boom, 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 boom. So there we go. And that, my friends, is how you make a mushroom farm. Now, I believe at this light level, that little girl will grow just fine on her own. I hope, because it's not daylight. Let me show you my setup, how I've got it set up out here. The website said it only needed a 7 by 7 area. I'm thinking we need a little bit bigger than 7 by 7. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but it took a couple rotations for that one right there to actually trigger. So, you know, it can't hurt to expand this a little bit more and make it just a bit bigger. Here we go. Here we are. But I've got it covered up right there, as you can... Oh! Werewolf! Fucking werewolf! No, no. You're gonna go in the pit. In the pit! Fuck you. Yeah. Now what's up, bitch? Ain't so badass now, are ya? But the key thing is you gotta make sure it's... Oh, shit, I hear another one. We're gonna go hide the house! The key thing is to make sure they're not under sky. For whatever reason, mushrooms don't like sky. I don't know why. You would think mushrooms would like sky. They grow fine in my front yard with it. So... Alright, we're making a couple of these. Whoops. What I'm making these for now is this. Notice I've got 4 of these. Plant those there. Plant that there. This there. And now I've got mushroom stew. Well, I would if, you know, I could carry it all. Shit. We're going to go ahead and dump that. Pick up our mushroom stew. There we go. Now, like I said, I do believe... Let's go ahead and free up some inventory space. I do believe that if you... if I leave her down there, they will grow again, and it'll be just fine. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm about 90% sure. But I know that it needs a light level of 5 to grow in the best possible way. So if you're wanting to, you know, really chunk that out, then you're going to want to try and figure out whatever a light level of 5 is. I personally don't know. I'm sure there's a way to... I'm hearing things skittering out there. I'm sure there's a way to test. But the nice thing about this setup now is now I've got plenty of mushrooms. I've got a sustainable or easily replaced system that will allow me to continuously feed myself, and the starvation will hopefully stop. So now I'm going to go ahead and I keep getting sidetracked. You know, I'm trying to do some cool Thaumcraft stuff. And every time I get close to knocking it out, it's like, ooh, I wonder what will happen here. But that's kind of the fun of Minecraft is, you know, every time you do something, you discover something else that you like to give a shot. And it just, I don't know, for me, that's a lot of the fun. Because you never, at least because I haven't played a lot of it, but I never stop learning when it comes to this thing. You know, I'm always tweaking something, always setting something up. You can tell we've gotten quite a bit of our knowledge going, which is good. I even got an Eldritch knowledge, which is odd for me. Now let me show you this. Our little guy should have turned back into a human by now. Or completely fucking disappeared. I guess that works too. Oh. Ow. But this light level right here, I believe, is light enough or dark enough to where the mushroom will grow automatically. So I shouldn't have to waste any more bone meal on it. But, you know, if I get to the point where I'm needing another snack, I can always slap him down with another one. But we've got enough mushroom stew to last us for a bit. So let me show you what our plans are now. I'm going to kind of go over it real quick before we start doing it. I need to move. I'm probably going to build another little house very similar to my modular one there. I'm either going to build it right next to it or in this corner over here. I'm not quite sure yet. That's going to house my machines. So I'm going to move my macerator and my power generators and all of that stuff over here to the right. And then I've got to filter this before I can destroy it, because if I pop that thing like a zit, it's going to spew out some nasty stuff, and I don't want that. So we're going to set up another house for our machine shit, and I'm probably going to put it over there in the corner, or I may just put it right next to this one. Then we're going to set up our Viz factory, and that, or it's not really going to be a factory, it's mainly just going to be a powering and filtering station. And I'll probably put that between the two, the machine area. Now what I'm going to do from there is I haven't quite decided yet. I need to find a place where I can pollute and it's not really going to matter. And you got to be careful. Is that a lion? What? Hi. Ah! What the fuck? I was... Oh, you motherfucking cat. You're gonna fucking die now. You know, it's just being... Did you spit out a baby kitty? I killed that and it was like, baby kitty. Anyways, I'm honestly thinking about polluting the desert. Now, you'll see way off over there in the distance, that tree, that's another one of those high... Here, let me zoom in for you. That tree right there is another high aura tree, which is good. And you can see over here, that's our taint little thing that I was showing you guys earlier, the nasty little taint spread. I gotta be careful because I don't want to fuel that taint over there too much. If I fuel that, it's possible it could encroach on my area and that would be nasty. I don't want to really dump it over here because then I'm going to kind of feel bad for the villagers, but at the same time, kind of want to see what happens to a village that gets overrun by taint. So I think we're actually going to pollute it right here. So I'm going to run my little Viz conduits all the way over to here. Ooh, those are... I need to bust these open, actually. We're going to run it all the way over here, and then we're going to have a filter. And the filter is basically what it's going to do. It's going to take the Viz, and it's going to let that pass through the filter, and then it's going to spit all of the nasty stuff out into the air. And I think 130 cubes is probably far enough away. This town looks like it's fucked up anyway. These guys aren't even... is there anybody even left? I mean, there were people here earlier. Last time I came through here, there were definitely people here. There we go. What's up, Brohim? I'm gonna fuck your house up, by the way, in case you didn't know. Gonna screw your little domicile. These guys look like those sand people from the from Star Wars, the little midget guys or whatever. Actually, Pyro, that's not the politically correct term. They call them dwarves. Good to know. The little dwarf desert people from Star Wars. Awkward. But I also want to be careful because this over here is an obelisk, and I don't want Taint to fuck with an obelisk, but I don't think Taint will fuck with an obelisk. I will be covering what this thing does a little bit later on. Alright guys, well this episode is more or less come to a conclusion. We're going to get started on those factories. Hopefully I don't get distracted again while I'll try to make this, because I've been trying to make this shit for like 4 episodes now. But we're going to go ahead and stop here. Next episode, we're going to build our 2 huts, get our factory set up, check our little Viz energy producing area, and then we're going to start polluting a village. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, click that like button. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my other videos, tips, tricks, and guides. And I'll catch you guys in the next clip.